tells a story by Abby Hanlon. My teacher always said, "Stories are everywhere." And the kids in my class were always finding them. Then my mom ran so fast that she caught up with the ice cream truck. Yay! Stories, stories! After that, I decided to hide my Halloween candy in my bed. I ran down the hallway with an underwear on my head. The dentist forgot to give me a toothbrush. But every day at writing time, I thought really hard ice stared at my paper. I stared at the ceiling. I could not write a story. Then Grandma gave me a cup of coffee and said, "Don't tell your mother." I have no story. So I looked for other things to do. I went to the water fountain. Can I go to the bathroom again? I roamed the hallways. I tried. Can I go help the lunch ladies? What? I tried everything. Then one day, after getting sent back to my desk, I begged Daisy for help. "I can't write a story because nothing happens to me." "Are you kidding?" she said. "I've written tons of stories about you." She began pulling her stories out of her desk. "Look at this one," she said. "Remember the time you let me brush your hair?" "And this one, remember the time you knocked down all the crayons? Oh, and remember the time you painted your nails with a black marker?" I thought I'll never be a great writer like Daisy. Then Daisy stapled all her stories together. Click, click. "Wow," she said. "This book is already 13 pages. Click, click. Can I use the stapler?" I asked. I was really good at stapling. "But you have nothing to staple," said Daisy. "You have to find a story first. Just look around." So I looked for stories out the window, in the aquarium, in my desk. "Why do you have socks in your desk?" And when my teacher wasn't looking, I looked for stories on the floor. On the floor. That's my favorite part. Look, my next book. But still, no stories at all. Wonk, wonk. Lying under my desk reminded me of lying in the grass at the park. I closed my eyes and imagined I was at the park, just like that. A little inchworm crawled on my knee. The sun was shining right into my eyes. Squinting, I picked up the wiggly inchworm and looked at it close up. And that's when my teacher found me. "What's your story about?" she asked. I opened my eyes. I saw an inchworm." "Wonderful," he said. "I can't wait to read your story." "Wonderful," she said. "I can't wait to read what you wrote." But there was no inchworm story. I sat down and tried to write about the inchworm, but right away I got stuck. "Do you know any inchworm stories?" I asked Daisy. She just rolled her eyes and kept on writing. "What else?" And then my teacher said, "Writers, come to the rock. Time to share." "Ralph, why don't you go first?" said the teacher. I pretended I had lost my paper. Please, me. Oh, pick me. It still didn't work. He's sitting on it. I held my paper against my chest. So no one could see it. I was at the park, I said, as an inchworm crawled on my knee. It was quiet. Chirp, chirp, chirp. My heart went thump, 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 thump. That's when I looked at Daisy. Wow, really? Did it feel squishy, Ralphie? Did you take it home? And then everybody started asking me questions. Did your mom let you keep it? Did you touch it? Was it a baby? Was it a girl? Did it tickle? Did you name it? Wait a minute, I thought. Something did happen with that inchworm. Well, I picked it up. I picked up the inchworm and decided to name him Nick. I built Nick a house, but he just inched away, so I followed him. And then all of a sudden, which is why I didn't notice someone was following me. And then all of a sudden, this wobbly, crazy baby grabbed Nick and put him in his diaper. I tried to be calm. Come on, baby. Give Ralphie the inchworm back. It didn't work. Was this the end of Nick? But then I noticed Nick was escaping. He crawled right up the baby's stomach. Quickly, I rescued Nick and ran. And we spent the rest of the afternoon doing nothing together. Just probably inching. The end. Everybody clapped and cheered. Show the picture, Ralph, someone said. Wonderful! Hooray! Yay, Ralph! I wasn't embarrassed anymore. So I did. Ralph, me. I was at the park. That was the last year. That was last year. This year, I write stories all the time. I keep finding stories everywhere. This book might be too thick to staple. And just thinking about it, it does work. Writing tips from Ralph. A funny digital story instructions. Number 1, get comfortable. 3, you can always write about what you have for breakfast. Yum. 2, it's okay to ask for help. What was that funny thing I did again? 4, eat lots of chocolate. Books by Ralph. An honored booklet by Ralph. When I ate too much spaghetti. The shampoo mystery. The marker that never ran out. The crazy supermarket cart. When my mom bought me the wrong size of underwear. The lunch lady's friend. When my backpack was really heavy. The case of the missing ice cubes. The worst staple jam ever. Hey, I'm not a stapler. When my baby brother ate hot sauce. The scariest hamster. When the milk came out of my nose. Daisy's embarrassing birthday party. Wonk, wonk. when the librarian yelled really loud at me, "Hey, you shush your pie hole, Ralphie." The smelly bastard. Ugh. When the principal tripped, ow, my heel. My bathroom emergency. The inchworm returns. And thank you. And that will be all. Thank you for joining me on Orbital Kids News and Stories. Hope you have a nice day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.